Hey guys, I don't know why my camera decided to kind of crap out on me on my last M Wave response, but I decided that I didn't want to leave it hanging there. It is kind of, I don't know, I noticed also that my video response to Laoshi for Cantonese also got cut off too, so I'll try and rectify that as soon as I can. Anyways, I wanted to follow up because I noticed when I was watching my M Wave video that it got cut off, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, so I thought, you know, complete that video up. Anyways, last thing I was talking about was basically the ergonomics, and you know, as everyone knows, Emerson ergonomics are pretty much amongst the knife community. They're pretty much renowned. Very few people I've talked to have ever complained about. If they have anything to complain about Emerson, it's not because the knives are uncomfortable. No, if anything, they feel very, very secure. They have a lot of purchase in the hand, and that's one of the selling points of Emerson's. The bad thing, though, is that the way that these knives are constructed, they're designed to be taken apart easily and put together, you know, back together very easily. It has a tendency, unfortunately, to make some of the construction a little bit kind of hairy, you know, here or there. If these opposing screws on here, the screws, this screw, for example, will screw into the opposite liner, and this screw will screw into the opposite liner, and all the way throughout the construction of the knife. The problem is that it's not really, the tolerances aren't really that tight, which means that you can twist your knife askew, making the purchase point where the point where the liner here contacts the tang a little bit off, and if you don't get that just right, it will cause your knife to wear that much more quickly, which is of course bad, because liner locks are you know, they're only as good as the strength of the locking mechanism themselves, right? So that's the way all knives are. So Emerson's generally tend to wear, in my experience, a little bit faster than some of the other knives. That's why I generally, you know, I generally tend to move to a frame lock. So this HD7 has served me rather well. I like it a lot. As I said again, though, this knife here is pretty much my safe queen, as are many other Emersons that I have, including like this Mach, for example, this Mach 1, especially in green. Most of the discontinued Emersons I pretty much just don't use, because on a day-to-day basis I find that, you know, an Emerson CQC7 or an HD7 or some of the other production models that are out today are perfectly fine. If you want one of these things, good luck. They can be found on USN or Blade forums, but rarely. They just don't show up too often. And I've heard, you know, I don't know if it's apocryphal or anything, but I've heard that there are only 100 of these things made in each different configurations. So you got plain edge 100, half serrated 100, and full serrated 100. That's what I've heard. I don't know if this thing is that rare, but it's certainly not a common knife. You can expect to pay anywhere between $200 at least to $300 for one of these things, and that's conservatively putting it, you know, putting it rather conservatively. This will be the closest thing to a custom made knife that I'll have for a long time, unless I get a CQC6, which is actually my eventual dream. All right, just wanted to end that video on a good note last time, so I will catch you guys later. All right, bye.